ABC, it's Ron. Thanks for joining me. Hey, I got some pretty cool albums lined up today. And I've had this week off from work, so I've had a chance to go out and hit a lot of different stores. So I got a pretty good pile, and I also got a big pile of 45s to show, and those will be coming up in my next video. So what we're going to get started with is what is on the turntable right now. And it is Captain Beyond Dawn Explosion. This is their third and final album from 1977. So this is the 40th anniversary of this album. And I always neglected this one because it didn't have Rod Evans on vocal. And I come across a really nice, excellent copy of it, so I decided to give it a chance. And I like it. Yeah, it makes me wish it had Rod Evans, but other than that, it's a good album. Out of the 8 tracks, I like 5 tracks a lot. The other 3 are just kind of alright. So it's the original band, it's just got a different vocalist. So I know Garen said he bought this back in the day when it came out and he didn't like it. Well, Garen, give it another chance because this is a good album. I was out yesterday and I picked up an excellent copy of the second Beau Brummels album, Volume 2. This is just top-notch folk rock. These guys were so great. Second only to the Byrds as far as folk rock goes. And this album's from 1965. They were a San Francisco band. And it's on the Autumn label. And it shows a cool picture of them when they appeared on the Flintstones cartoon show. And they were the Beau Brummels Stones when they appeared on the Flintstones. So yeah, it's mono, but you know what? Doesn't matter. I love it. Really glad to get that. Then I got the second Rotary Connection album, US copy, Aladdin. And this is a hard album to find because it only reached 176 on the US charts. It has that Unipack cover that we all hate. I have a German copy of this, but it doesn't have the gatefold. So it's missing this part of the cover with the electric Aladdin's lamp. This is just really good psychedelic soul rock, full of psychedelic studio tricks, high production value, and energetic songs. I think it's a pretty damn good album. Better than the first album, I would say. The thing that hurts the first album for me is that cover version of Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone. They should not have put that song on that album. It ruined it. Comes with the original company sleeve. Okay, then I got the first Grand Funk Railroad, and I think this album's from 1969, and it's on time. It's on the green Capitol label, and I actually used to have that clock right there in my bedroom in the 70s. It's a wall clock, and everything on it is backwards. The numbers, the hands run backwards. Everything on it is backwards. So pretty unusual to see that on an album cover. Good acid rock based album. I like that album a lot. Then I got the third and final Crying Shames album, Synthesis, from 1969. And this one's kind of disappointing compared to the first 2 albums, although it does start off with a really heavy track, which is probably their heaviest song that they ever did. And it's on the Columbia 2i label. It's not a bad album. I mean, if you like this sort of thing, you know, highly produced pop. But I like the first two albums better. But okay, then I got Here We Go Again, Country Joe and the Fish, and this is another copy that I picked up. And the cover's not in that great a shape, but the vinyl is near mint. And this is why I got it. It's on a yellow Vanguard label, which means that it's Record Club edition. And the cover is marked Record Club down here on the bottom. Now the Record Club edition had a little bit of different insert compared to the normal stock version of this album. This is the normal stock insert. And this is the Record Club version. It's on thinner paper and it's a different color. Now I got some recent pressings to show. I'm going to start off with an album that I just replaced. I saw it in the store. It was 20% off and I decided to take a chance on it. I knew they'd had it in the store for a long time, so I figured I might get lucky with this pressing. It's something I had trouble with before, and it's CA Quintet, A Trip Through Hell. And if you remember in an earlier video, I got a really bad pressing of this. I guess they had a bad run on them, to where they had a bunch of pressings that were very crackly. So so I went through a bunch of shit with Sundazed over that, and they did eventually reimburse me, but I decided to get this, and I took the chance on it, and you know what? I got a good copy, so I'm really happy about that. Now this is one that Deadwax 66 Randy just showed and talked about, and I came across a copy in the store. It's Neon Pearl, and this is rare British psych from 67, 68 time frame, and this is just really cool. This is on Acme. It's a US pressing, and it's a limited edition of 500 copies on this one. So this is a pretty rare release. I guess it came out when it was originally recorded. It was not released, and then I guess it came out on some other label a while back. I don't know much of the details on it, but there has been a previously released version of this music. So yeah, real happy with it, and it comes with an insert. So check it out, Neon Pearl. Picked up the new Chuck Berry album. This is just a really good album. I think overall it's probably the best Chuck Berry album, other than like his greatest hits compilation or something like that. Comes with the booklet, which I'm not going to show, but it's full of photos and track information and stuff like that. I guess it came out on 2 different formats. It came out on black vinyl, this is what I got, and it's also out on white vinyl. Here's a picture of Chuck playing checkers. Maybe he ought to be playing chess, I don't know. Good album, check it out. It's a fitting epitaph to the Chuck Berry legend. Then I picked up something that Lionel Richie recommended. Now, I've always heard about this band, but I never looked into them. And it's the Brian Jonestown Massacre. And this is a double album compilation. It's an English pressing. This is just some great top-notch psychedelia. So, this band was formed in the 90s. San Francisco band. They sound very British, but they're actually out of San Francisco. And I like it a lot. This is basically a rarities compilation. Stuff that previously unreleased, stuff that's hard to get on vinyl, came out on CD. And I guess it actually has a bonus track on this that was not on the original CD version of this. So this is volume 2, double album. So I'm gonna have to look into getting volume 1 double album. This is a good way to start off investigating this band is the compilation. Very good. Okay, a few days ago I was in the used record store and I was looking through some records, and I saw this guy walk in, and I didn't really get a good look at him, but he was nicely dressed. You know, he had on slacks and a dress shirt and dress shoes. And he was walking around looking at the wall, and he was talking to the store clerk, and I was kind of, I could kind of hear what he was saying. And I heard him mention, yeah, my brother is in the band, the Mighty Sphincter. And I thought, whoa. So I walked over to him, I said, are you Johnny Macho? And he said, yeah, I'm Johnny Macho. Which is, his real name is Dan Clark. He's been, part of the Phoenix punk scene for decades, and he was the singer for the Exterminators. And the first thing I said to him was, whoa man, you look so different. Because he looked like a real estate agent or something. He had his sunglasses up on top of his head, and he looked, real spiffy. So I was talking to him for a while. He was a very nice guy. He was talking about the band, and I asked him a few questions, I guess they've only done one gig, and that was the one gig that they played here when the album was released. So he said they're trying to do another gig in October, so we'll see. If they do, I'm definitely going to go see them. But anyway, they happen to have a used version of the Exterminators album in the bin. So I bought it and I had him sign it. So I got Johnny Macho's autograph. So that's pretty cool. So what a nice guy. He was a real nice guy. Alright guys, that does it for this video. And probably in the next couple of days I'll be getting out a new one. I'll be showing those singles that I picked up. So, until then, have a good one.